Hey everyone, welcome in. Anybody joining over on YouTube or Facebook, thanks to you for stopping by as well. Got lots of great items today, so if you see anything you like. Hey Prom 220, thanks for coming in. Hold on just a second. My phone hasn't caught up on the chat, so yeah, thanks for coming in. I am Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures here in Knoxville, Tennessee. See lots of people starting to come in right now, so appreciate everybody stopping by. Have a ton of stuff in the buy it now as always, so if you see anything you like there, I'm always accepting offers. I think I've got a couple hundred things in the buy it now. 30 something things in the auction, lots of postcards, photos, got a couple of photo albums. I came across an old scrapbook yesterday that was just chock full of Victorian trade cards. The scrapbook was kind of falling apart, but I think it's all there. So we'll just go through pages and probably auction off some pages of those. Hey, Danielle. Thank you. Happy Friday to you as well. Yeah, for anybody who hasn't been to my shows before, I am Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures. As I mentioned, here in Knoxville. In addition to whatnot, I do tons of stuff on other online platforms. Have 3 antique booths here in the Knoxville area. So I do whatnot shows approximately every other Friday at this time. So yeah, I appreciate you spending part of your Friday with me. Hey, Allison, thanks for coming in. Um, yeah, if you know anybody who likes the kind of ephemera I've got, make sure you tag them in the chat. Feel free to share the show. I always appreciate that as well. And if you want to smash those hearts, I think that helps the algorithm, or at least so I'm told. Hey, there goes some right now. So I always take requests. So if you see anything you want me to run, put the lot number in the chat. We'll get to it pretty quickly. Or if you pre-bid, I know I had a couple of pre-bids on things. We'll probably start the pre-bids here in 15 or 20 minutes. Let's see who else we got coming in. Hey, Dry Creek Trading Company, My Catch, Eves, Black Ops, anybody else I've missed, thank you so much for coming in. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. I've pulled a few things out. We'll just start with those, and I'll keep an eye on the chat for any requests that you have. So first up, let me go ahead and pin lot number 8. Now, tell you what, let's do a giveaway. I don't always start the show with the giveaway, but let's do it today. Let me grab some postcards here, and we'll just do those for the giveaway. I don't know, we'll get a pretty good stack here. So let me go ahead and start it. And here's what's in it. I don't know. Here's the first postcard. Have a couple of airplanes, it looks like. This was just in a box. I don't know. There's the Gillette Castle. So some of them look older. There's some chromes. There's that. Here's Horseshoe Falls and Niagara Falls. Whatever that one happens to be. Then that one. And then here's Toledo, Ohio. And then finally, I know Whatnot's funny, so I'll cover her, but whoever that is. So anyway, that'll be the first giveaway. Yeah, hey, Sarah Stone. I think I do. Did I meet you at the... Oh, okay, you used to order for me a lot. Well, I appreciate you stopping back by. I have a lot of good stuff today, so make sure you get in the giveaway, and we'll go ahead and get started. So let me go ahead and pin lot number 8, and I'll keep an eye on the chat. It looks like we have 2 pre-bids so far, so we'll get to those. And let me put lot 8 in. So this is a 1918 baptismal. And until okay, yes, I do remember that name, Sarah. So yeah, thanks for stopping back by. Oh, well, feel free to reach out if you have any questions about running a show. I've been doing this a while now, so it's a lot of fun. Just be yourself is the main thing I say. So, and especially the ephemera community, so supportive. But all right, so And I'm going to stay front facing until I show something that's going to be hard to show front facing, like a photo album. So first up is 1918 Order for the Baptism of Infants booklet. And this one happens to be for little girls, I believe. Yeah, it says for girls down here in the corner. But it's the Communion Service Book of the Evangelical Lutheran Church. And this is published in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania by the United Lutheran Publication House. But it's got lots of good images in it. Some in color. Or maybe most of them. Oops, maybe most of them are in color. Hey, Ball Repeat, thanks for coming in. I'm a Goblin. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, there are some black and white ones as well. All my auctions are starting at $3 today. A couple of other housekeeping things. Shipping is capped at $9.21. So once you hit £1, basically everything after that's free, no matter what you buy. That includes both buy it now items and auction items. So once you buy a couple of things, your shipping should be free. So, all right, we'll go ahead and start this 1918 Order for the Baptism of Infants. We'll run it at 15 seconds, and that is off and running. See if there's any interest. Oh, there is a tear on the back. I'll point that out. But yeah, some cool graphics in there. 1918. Looks like no interest in that, so we will. Yes, they are, Allison. The ephemera community is definitely the best. And as I mentioned, if anybody has any requests, feel free to throw those in the chat. We'll go ahead and pull up Block 23. We'll see if we have any basketball fans in here. And these are going to be from 1990, 91. And they are from NBA Hoops. Let's see if we can. Yeah, the glare's not too bad. It's going to be 4 of these, I believe. It's Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, and David Robinson. Yes, Stock Diva. If you look in the buy it or not buy it now, in the auction catalog, there are some towards the end. I know I have at least 2 lots, and then there may be a lot of chrome as well. But hey, Ben, new to you provisions. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for coming in. Hey, Shell Bell, Gemini Tara, anybody else I've missed. So let's show the 4 of these real quick. You have David Robinson. They're still in the sealed packages like they came when you bought them back in the day. There's Magic. This was about the time I had a sports card booth in Nashville, so I can remember these. There's Charles Barkley. And then finally Larry Bird. So, oh, here comes the winner. Secret Dorado won the postcard giveaway. So let me write your name down real quick. Congratulations. Give me just a second to write that down. Secret Grotto. It is a holiday weekend. Does anybody have any big plans? We get to go to a wedding tomorrow, so it'll be. So my daughter got married 3 weeks ago now. It'll be 3 weeks ago tomorrow, which is hard to believe. They went on their honeymoon to Italy and had a blast. But she married a Catholic, so they had a Catholic wedding, but it was not the full mass. So tomorrow we get to go to a Catholic wedding at the exact same church where they got married, and it's the full mass. So I'm pretty sure that'll be my first experience with the full mass wedding. So I know they're kind of long, but anyway. And then there's going to be a party afterwards, so it should be fun. All right, so the 4 of these, $3 start. Let me go ahead and get this started. 15 seconds, and those are off and running. You got Larry Bird. You got Charles Barkley. Thank you, Dry Creek Trading Company. You also had Magic Johnson and David Robinson. All right, Brian won those. Thank you so much. So how long did it last for all these funds? What am I in for tomorrow lengthwise? So Hey, Miners Fast Touch or Miner Virginia Touch. Sure, I butchered that, but thanks for coming in. Hey, Zibzob. All right, so next up, we're going to do Light 26. As mentioned, if you have any requests for anything, put those light numbers in the chat and we'll get right to them. And we'll also check for pre-bids here shortly. Maybe 40. Yeah, I think it seems like my son-in-law told me, like, if they'd have done the full mass, it would have been about an hour and a half. So I don't know. We'll see. But it was a beautiful wedding. The church they got married in was one of the real old Catholic churches in downtown. 15, I got you, Secret Grotto. So we'll see how it goes. And then after that, really the only plans, we don't really have any plans. I'm sure I'll cook out or maybe smoke some meat. I haven't decided on Sunday. I did have a guy reach out to me as a bunch of records. I do records through my booths, and he had 2 suitcases full of records. So I may go look at those if he still got them as well. All right, so these are going to be, yeah, I mean, I've been married for 2025. We got married in 1990, 32 years. It'll be 32 years in about a month, less than a month now. So we got a pair of these dainty cereal boxes. I don't know the exact age of these, but they are vintage. Appears they've never been used. But it says you would make these by taking 2/3 a cup full of cereal, sprinkled very slowly into 1 pint of boiling salted water, stirring constantly. So it was probably basically oatmeal, I guess, or cream of wheat or something like that. So anyway, you got both of those with the $3 start. And here we go. Like the image of the little kid on the, I guess it's a tricycle there. So, hey, spooky unique gifts, flip your wig. Carl Electables, thanks for coming in. Right, no interest in that. Let's see, we had a request for 15. Let me see if I can pull that up. Let me see what it is. Oh, the 38. Yeah, this is a cool lot. So let me go ahead and pin this. And let me see if I can find it. Here they are. Sometimes my organization skills even amaze myself. I went right to those. Actually, it was just luck. But all right, so tell you what, maybe it will be easier for me to flip the camera for these. So let me take this off here. As you look at the back of my hand, let me put it on the here and switch that. Move this out of the way. Y'all are probably tired of looking at me anyway, so. All right, so there's 38 of these snapshots in here, and there's some that are of a horse race. I have no idea. They weren't marked or anything, but as you can see here, here's the track. I don't know that this one has any horses. You can just see people in the infield and people in the grandstand. And I think there were a couple of duplicates of those horse racing photos too. Here's another one. Looks like the same horse racing park. Once again, not marked. And I think there were a couple more once we get in there. Some kind of scene in the woods. Not exactly sure what that is. Same with this one. It looks like maybe water. It's kind of dark. Looks like maybe this was part of a real photo postcard that got cut out there. Yeah, some kind of village or house at the foot of a big hill. Well, I'm not sure what this looks like. Water, maybe. I don't know if those are beehives or I can't really tell. But anyway, that's what that one is. This one's dated 1956, so we do have a date on that of a pine tree. And then there's a ship of some sort. And then I think that says lumber. Can't rewards lumber maybe. So I'm not sure what city that's in, but it looks like it's been pretty snowy there. Looks like a lakeshore there. A view from a boat, probably that same lake maybe. And just these are like the kind of paperish prints, some of them. There's a view in the mountains. And then just another view there. There's a couple of smaller ones. Also look like some kind of woods or mountains. This one does have some wear here. Hey, welcome in J Hoke, My Cat Cheeves, Kujito, PMC 380. Anybody else I've missed, thanks for coming in. But yeah, you can see all the snowy mountains in the back there. Here's another one, looks like a pass. I don't know if that's like a, can't tell what that is, but yeah, it looks like a pass between two cliffs there. Here we go. Here's another horse racing. I think this one's the duplicate of the first one we saw. Yeah, and here's one that actually has the horses in it. You can see them coming down the stretch right there. There's another lake and mountain scene. And then another one. Have no idea. I don't know if those are all boats in the water. This one came out of the scrapbook, but it's a bunch of people swimming. And look at all the people in the lake there. There we go. August 1925 at Brighton Beach. Heard of Brighton Beach. Where's Brighton Beach? Does anybody know? I know I've heard of it. It's up north somewhere, isn't it? Is it like New Jersey or somewhere? Hey, Sherry Howell. Thanks for coming in. It's a cypress tree, it looks like there. I guess that's just artifact on the picture there. It's another picture of the lake. Looks cold because that looks like ice in the lake there. Another view, you got all the, I guess the railroad track. Yeah, these are railroad tracks. You can see the telegraph poles there. Just about getting to the end here, and we'll get it started. There's some people sitting on a park bench in front of a lake. Some kind of field. I don't know if, looks like bushels of something or another. Another mountain scene. I think this is a duplicate of the same horse racing one. There's the horses there. You can see the people in the infield. Hey, Vintage Memories. Then I do not know what this is. It looks like a huge tree house almost. That's wild looking though. There was a tree house kind of like this near Knoxville, but it burned down. It used to be open to the public. Then they closed it because they deemed it unsafe. And then it burned down. I think somebody set it on fire. I don't know if anybody's been there or not. It's in Crossville, or it was in Crossville, Tennessee. And then here's one more. This one we have not seen. You can see the horses crossing the finish line there. So all 38 of those starting at $3, and we will run it for 15 seconds, and it's off. And they're off. Horse racing. The treehouse, that one is cool there. Horse racing. So a lot of mountain and lake scenes. All right, no interest in those. Hey, Jager, Brianna Smith, 27 and 32. Absolutely. Let me get these back in the envelope here. Two, 7, and 32. Let me write those down. Let's see. Let me go in and see number 2. Yeah, let's do that one. We'll do 7 and 32, then we'll come back. Yeah, I'll run those again. I'll tell you what, let me just run them real quick, Brian, while I find 7 and 32. So there's lot 15, the photographs. And we are going to, oh, I guess they were already pinned. $3.15. All right, those are running. So the horse racing photos are running. And so then we wanted lot 7. So are you still having an issue bidding, Brian? Wonder if there's an issue with Whatnot today. So let me know, were you trying to bid again and it didn't let you? Do you think it's on your end or? Yeah. Let me know when you get back in, Brian, and I'll run them again. So 7 is the RPPCs. We'll grab those. Let's see if I can find them. Here we go. All right, so we're going to do lot 7. So this is going to be 5 RPPC. I guess it's redundant to say RPPC postcards since it's real photo postcards, but they are RPPCs. 2 and 7 are different from 02 and 07. I don't think I have a 2 and a 7. Everything has a 0 in the front, so. Oh, okay. After I run these, I'll run 15 again then, Brian. All right, so you have this lady here, and this one is an Artura postcard. I don't know what year that would be. I know with the Azos, you can tell from the symbols in the corner, but probably, somewhere between early 1900s up to 1930 on that one. Here's a baby real photo postcard. The back was faded a little bit on this one. Then this one, I can't read, had the studio name on it, but you have the 2 kids. They're a little blurry. They must have moved right as they snapped the picture. That one is an Azo, and it has the 4 triangles up in the corner, which I think is like 1904 to 1916 or something like that. Then you have this kid here. This one does have, if you can see down here, a crease. But that one is also an Azo with the 4 triangles up in the corner. And then finally you have this young baby here. Also an Azo. So 4 Azos and an Artura RPPC. And we'll go ahead and start these. 20 or 15 seconds, $3, and they are running. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm a Goblins in at $3, and I'm a Goblin took those. Thank you so much. All right, Brian, I'm going to run 15 now real quick. So this is the horse racing snapshots and others, and then we'll get to those other requests. All right, and here we go. They are running. Yay, got it. Hey, Cruise Mike, thanks for coming in. Anybody else I've missed? I am Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures doing antique and vintage ephemera today. Have lots of stuff in both the buy it now and the auction catalog. So if you see anything you like, put the lot number in the chat and we'll get it run. So let's see, we ran 7 and then we got 32. Oh, the child story readers. Yep. That one's right here. Let me get that one pinned. And if you know anybody that you think would like this stuff, I appreciate any tags you give to people or anybody who shares the show. I really appreciate that. And then, of course, any of the hearts you want to throw. As I mentioned at the start, I've been told it helps the algorithm, but who knows? So, all right. So this is a 1927 through 29. So I assume it was made in 29, or maybe it was made in 27 and meant to be used through 29. But in any case, sometime in the 20s, and it's a child story reader's primer. Lots of good illustrations. Does have Janet's name in the front there. Looks like it's in pencil though. Yeah, so it was published by Lyons and Carnahan in Chicago and New York. And there's all the people who put the book together. It does have a little tear here on the title page. I think that's the only tear in the book that I saw. And then here you go. Here's the date there, 27 through 29. And it's not Dick and Jane, it's Jack and Jane. Jack and Jane. I guess they were precursors to Dick and Jane. So, but these kind of illustrations are throughout. He's got his little sailor suit on with the dog. We'll just show a couple of the pages, then I'll start it, and then we'll flip through it while it runs. So let me go ahead and start it. $3 start, 15 seconds, and it is off and running. I like they're having a picnic here with their dog. There she is riding a scooter. There's the milkman. It's like story time with Franklin Hill Ventures. Thank you, I'm a Goblin. That will go with your RPPCs. And all right, I guess we'll go ahead and run the first of the photo albums. We've got a couple more pre-bids, so let me go in and pin this one. Let me grab this. So this is a pretty cool photo album. It's in really good condition. I don't know the exact year, but as you can see, I mean, for an album this old, a lot of times, the covers will be falling off. The only real damage or wear I could, really see is, I'm assuming this is where the hook was, or the clasp that hooked on these, so that's missing. But you still have the gold trim on the pages is in very good condition. So let me go ahead and open it up. Binding's reasonably tight. Let me take this off so we can, here's kind of the view looking at the spine there. So yeah, overall in really good shape. And here's the cover page. And there were 19 photographs in this. I did not pull any out to see if they were identified, just because, like this is already tearing some. It's so hard to get these out without ripping the pages. So I don't know exact years. I would guess these kind of photos, it's probably 1800s, maybe into the early 1900s, but they're all studio photos. Just looking to see. Okay, here we go. We can at least see that this was, see if I can get it to focus, New Bedford, Massachusetts. See if we can see so it was Smith's studio there. Yeah, and of course there are blank pages. Then you got these two young fellas dressed in their ties and striped suits. Yeah, and like I said, if it's not already torn, it's really hard to see the studio. So this guy's mustache is awesome. Mutton chopper, I think that's what you call that. Maybe I'll do that one day. Hey, Jason Des. Hey, Gremlin Vivo, Bass Martin, Luke U Vintage, anybody else I've missed, thanks for coming in. Going through this photo album right now, and we'll get it started. Got him with his mustache. Not sure which. I don't know if this was behind him or came out from somewhere else in the book. But there's another empty page. Then these girls look suspiciously like, I don't think they're the same person, but they look similar. So I'm wondering if they're sisters. So you got those two. It's quite the choker she has on there. And you can see it looks like maybe she's got some kind of pin holding her shirt closed there. Once again, now these may be the same people because it's the exact, well, no, it's not the exact same dress because it's a different closure. You can see her closure, and then her closure's got a little different. So, yeah, maybe those are sisters if they're not the same person. Yep, it could be Agnes and Mildred, or cousin Neri. And there's Uncle Jim. So, Then you got her. When I first looked at her, she almost looked African American, but I think maybe she's just darker skinned. You think maybe African American on that one? But I love the shirt she has on there. So then you have her. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe more Latino or some of the facial features. It's hard to tell. But in any case, I guess she was somehow associated with the family, regardless of who she is. So, since she's in the photo album, and I mean, I have no idea for sure if all these people are related. This just is how I got it. And the person I got it from, it wasn't their family, so they didn't really know any history either. All right, here you got this guy. He's got his like tie chain down here. There is some boxing along some of the top edges. Got her and her. I wonder if I can see. Oh wait, there we go. Yeah, so same photography studio on this one that we had on the one in the front. So I don't know if they're all from that studio. We got a couple more blank pages here. Looks like we get into some blank pages. I know there's some more pictures. It was 19 total. Yeah, this one does have some damage here. All right, here we got whatever's next. She is identified Bethany, maybe? Let's see what she looks like. Yeah, and there is a little more foxing and staining in the back here. So there's her. And then we have this little boy here. A couple more blank pages. And then finally, this photo's a little faded out, but it looks a little older. I wonder if we can get... oh, here we go. Let's see. This one says Groves. So it's Grove Studio. I don't want to mess it up. So anyway, this one, as I mentioned, looks a little older, but it's a family there. You can see there's a little bit of water staining back here. But yeah, and so here's the back cover. So let me go ahead and get this started, and we'll continue to thumb through it as it runs. So we're going to start the auction. $3 start. We'll put it at 15 seconds and let it go where it wants to, and that is running. Thanks for the bid. I'm a Goblin. Got the two boys here. Mr. Mutton Chops. Got him. Mr. Mustache. Were those Agnes and Mildred? I think we named them. All right, I'm a Goblin. Thank you so much. That will be coming your way. Monday's a holiday, so I might get it out tomorrow. Most likely, it will be Tuesday since we have that wedding tomorrow. So, but anyway, it'll go out no later than Tuesday. All right, let's see what we have. I don't think any more requests came in. So if anybody has any requests, make sure you put those lot numbers in the chat. Let me look at the pre-bids. Looks like we still have 2 pre-bids. So we'll do lot 6. Let me pin that. This is going to be the railroad press photos. Let's do that right here. Nope, that's the Monticello one. Where are the railroad ones? Here they are. So where does everybody else live? I'm here in God's country in East Tennessee in Knoxville. Any other Tennesseans? Any other Southerners? I know Dry Creek Trading Company's in Missouri. Oklahoma. I don't know that I've ever been to Oklahoma. Been to Texas. My daughter lives in Houston. She's got my grandson there, so I'm actually going to Houston in a couple of weeks to see him. So I'm excited. Georgia. Been to Georgia a lot. Hey, Wes, my co-host on the Finder Slippers Resale podcast just joined. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Cam Luz. All right, so here we have two railroad press photos. So you got all the guys sitting around the engine here, have their dog up here. Sorry about the glare. And then on the back, it's got this photo supplied by International Newsreel. And then it says, watch your credit, 49ers of Southern Pacific. So the picture itself was taken in 1883, and it looks like 1927 is when they got this photo to publish, and probably in a newsreel or some kind of newspaper or something. So you have that one, and these are both 8x10, and then you have this one here. Hey, cool vintage vibes. So this was printed for the Union Station celebration, May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And I looked that up, and it was in 1939. So even though there's not a date on this, like, I don't know if this 1960 is a date or some kind of number, or if maybe they pulled it out later and wrote that on there. But the Union Station celebration was in 1939. And then photo number 4, here's another old-time photo which recalls early day railroading in the Southland. It shows a diamond stack engine flying at the terrific rate of 25 miles an hour towards the New Hall Tunnel. Many old-time iron horses like this will take part in the parade. So, doesn't really look like it's moving, but that's what the back says. So, anyway, all right, we will go ahead and run these starting at $3 for both of them. 15 seconds, and it is off and running for the two old railroad press photos. Yeah, what was it? 1927 49ers of the Southern Pacific and 1939 Los Angeles Union Station celebration. I love this picture. I love the dog here. Hey, Diesel 1818, thanks for coming in. Hope everybody's having a great Friday. Not working too hard. Thank you, Bolivar Pete. I know Wes is happy. He's out of school. Wes is a school teacher and a referee. So you got what, like a week break before you have to go back to summer school? But he's no reffing again till basketball season. So I'm sure you're excited. You get like a week off, right? All right, so we got number 11 next. 3 Antique Studio. Those are these right here. Let me go ahead and pin these. And if anybody has any other requests, just put those lot numbers in the chat, or you can pre-bid, and I'll keep an eye out for the pre-bids as well. All right, so this is going to be 3 Antique Studio cabinet card photos. So similar to the ones we saw in the albums, but these were not with the album. So this is Peterson Studio in Austin, Pennsylvania. Like a diamond pattern shirt here with her hat on. That's Mother. And so was this when it's got all this around it, does that mean that's a morning photo? I mean, was this a dead baby? I can't remember. If anybody knows, let me know. It may not be. That may just be the design. But it seems like I've heard. Nope. Okay. Thank you, Cool Vintage Vibes. That one is not labeled. So, yeah, they just did all the fancy work around them. That's M.E. Dennis in Forsman, Indiana. And then we have A. Schiffer in Cleveland, Ohio. Looks like that was trimmed slightly at the bottom, but you have another baby there, and also not marked. So we know we have Mother, and then we have 2 babies. So probably not the same. Probably she's not their mother, since they're all 3 different cities. All right, we'll run these $3 start. And that is off and running. Hey, Bank Boy. Thanks for coming in. Chef Jedi. Anybody else I've missed? We have Alyssa Core in. And if anybody's a seller, feel free to promote your shows. I have no problem with that at all. And that's your first purchase from me, Alyssa Core. Thank you so much. All right, let me get a quick drink of water. All right, no more pre-bids, no requests, so I'll just start pulling stuff now. We'll go ahead and do lot 37. I'm just going to pull them in the order I see them. Oh yeah, I forgot I streamed it to our YouTube channel. So yeah, if anybody's watching over on YouTube or on my Facebook page, the Franklin Hill Ventures Facebook page, I think there's a link you can click to come in and join the fun if you see anything you want to bid on. So this is a 1930 AP press photo of Monticello, so Thomas Jefferson's house. You can see all the people gathered. It says Monticello is the scene of Jefferson's celebration. Monticello is shown with the crowd, which participated in the Jefferson birthday celebration, April 13th. This date was proclaimed by President Hoover as Religious Freedom Day. And Simeon D. Fess of Ohio delivered the principal address. So this was from April 14th, 1930. It talks about what credits you got to give, and then there's the title, Thomas Jefferson in his home. So you got Monticello here. We'll go ahead and start this, and that is running for the 1930 AP press photo of Monticello. Hey, Project Sound, thanks for coming in. Ron Dunn. Anybody else I missed? All right, no interest in the Monticello photo. I do have, if let me know if anybody wants to start looking at that scrapbook. The only thing I'm a little worried about it. I mean, it's kind of dirty, so I'll probably have to clean the table out after we go through it. But it's just an old scrapbook I found yesterday, and it has, I mean, it's just loaded with Victorian trade cards. Plus, there were some other kind of goodies in there. All right, we'll run this next. This is lot 17. This is silk, an engraving on silk. So it must have come out of maybe came out of a book or, well, probably not a, it looks like a book plate, but it probably did not come out of a book. Okay. Yeah, and I feared what I'd do with the scrapbooks, probably just auction off pages because it's going to be hard to do the whole thing. But it'll be fun to look at if nothing else. So this is on silk here. And it does say on the back that this is the Griff House photo etching from painting by W.F. Mozart from the life of George Eliot. It had an original price of $35, but it wasn't in my booth, so I have no idea where it was. But anyway, yeah, you have this house. It's kind of, I don't know if glossy is the word, but it's pretty cool. So anyway, we'll run this. And $3 start, and that's off and running. I have no idea on the date or anything on this. But if it doesn't sell here, I'll probably take it to my booth. I have no idea where I got this. I have no idea where I got half the stuff I have. I buy so many like huge lots of stuff. And as I mentioned, I mean, Whatnot's, I mean, it's a pretty small part of what I do. I really do Whatnot because I enjoy just, it's a nice social outlet like every other week. When you're a full-time reseller, you know, you're kind of stuck in your basement, just listing all day. So it's nice to do something a little different. And we've had a lot of fun. I know for those of you who are with me for all the postcard shows we did from the farmhouse, those were crazy. All right, tell you what, let me show some things. So this was shoved in the scrapbook. If anybody's interested, this will probably be one of the things I'm not going to do a $3 start on. just because, I don't know, I really like it probably as much as anything. But this is on some kind of fabric, if you can kind of tell. I don't know that it's silk. Um, but it is marked down here in the corner. Um, Schwab and Wolf, made in USA. So it's like a lithograph, but its own fabric. I would guess, based on the fact, you know, it was found in this scrapbook with all those trade cards, I would guess it's probably 1800s to early 1900s. It does have a tear in this corner here. I would start this at. I'll start it at. I'll start at $8 if anybody's interested. So let me know if you want me to run this for 8. And then let me go ahead and start pulling the pages. Yes, okay, we'll run this. I'm just going to run it under the same lot number that I have the scrapbook pages on. So let me go ahead and say product actions, pin, and then we're going to start this. So this is for this piece of fabric here, and it's got really good color and everything. The color hasn't faded a whole lot. It does have the creases from where it was folded up. And as I mentioned, it's got the one tear. Once I start it, let me do this one for 20 seconds to give me time to pull the phone off here and kind of go around the whole thing. We said $8, and that is off and running. So yeah, you can see how good the color is on this. And then here's that tear I was talking about in the corner. Here's the name of the company down here. And then the rest of it's just, there is that little hole in the corner up there. All right, Dusty Moose. Hope you have fun doing some research on that. I really liked it, but I'm glad it's going to a new home. So, all right, so we'll put that up there too. Let me put your name on that since it doesn't have a picture with the lot number. What did I do with my Sharpie? There it is. Give me just a second. Dusty Moose. Hey, J Hoke. Hey, Queen Nettie. Hey, A. Menzel. Oh, that's awesome. You'll have to send me a picture of it once you get it all framed and everything. Yeah, because I think a frame will hide most of the. It looks like most of the little blemishes and stuff are mostly along the edge. So yeah, I think it'll look really good in a frame. All right, so let me go ahead and grab. This was also, well, it was actually on top of the scrapbook. So this is a framed photo of a bride. The frame's really nice. It does have one little like missing piece of veneer down here. Here's the back of it. If anybody's interested in this one, I'll run it for. I'll do $6 on this one. So let me know if anybody is interested in this photo of the bride and the frame that goes with it. Ryan, all right. So we already have it pinned. I'm not going to run next. I have no idea what I'll do if I run next. Run next is the Russian roulette of whatnot. So let me unpin. Let me repin. Unpin. Here, let me do it from. I think I got to pin something else. Hold on just a second. 05. All right, I'm going to pin this real quick. Once I get to the scrapbook pages, I can do run next. But since I'm running these at different prices. All right, now I can do start auction. $6 we said. I'm just going to go down to 15 seconds on this, and that's running. So, yeah, the picture's a little dark. I mean, I did not clean this. Actually, didn't clean anything in this at all, so I don't know how well that'll clean up. There's another little chip right there. And there's the back one more time. All right, Dusty Moose, I will put that in your stack over here with your fabric. And now let me see. There's a few miscellaneous items before we get to the actual pages. Let me just pull these out. Maybe I'll run these as a lot or something. So you have this like an etching or a color lithograph. Um, Probably a book plate would be my guess, but there's no markings on it at all. Here's a die cut rose, and it appears to be in pretty good shape. I don't see any tears on that. And then here's an ink blotter for the Vogue Carpet Corp in New York, New York. Doesn't look like the ink blotter was used. Does have a little crease right there. I'll just run all this stuff as a lot. This looks like maybe it was in the scrapbook. Um, just like a trade card of some sort, it looks like. But I can't see if anything was on the back or not. And then we'll pull this too. And then you have this one here. It says to Santa Claus. It does have a tear in the corner. And it's got a little tear on the bottom here. And then it says, Dear Santa Claus, please bring me. And she's thinking about it. And then the back, this must have come out of, it's maybe a magazine or a catalog because, well, not a catalog. It's like thicker paper than just a newspaper. But there are ads on the back. You have the best Christmas present, Jerry Johnson Jr., real estate auctioneer, a typewriter. So you got that. Maybe that was on a magazine cover or something. Yeah, I got a couple more loose things that were loose here. And then you have this one. I think that's a tear down in the corner. So this was a Hood Sarsaparilla 1888 household calendar. And it's got all the astronomical events, and it's an advertisement for Hood's Sarsaparilla. So this will be a nice little lot here. And here's a die cut. This one does look like maybe he had a leg here that's torn off. So yeah, this one's got some wear here, but looks like it was in a scrapbook. So probably in the scrapbook pages that we'll show here. Then you have her, nice die cut. Does look like it was in the scrapbook, but it's in overall pretty good condition. Hey, Nat Cole, Face It Tiger, Lindsay JW48. Anybody else I missed? That one's pretty striking. That look on her face. And then finally, let me make sure. There might be one more die cut over there. This was also in the scrapbook. Oh, let's see if we can see. I can't quite see the date up here, but anyway, it's just a card with a flower on it. And let me see if this was one more thing here. Oh yeah, and here's one more die cut. That's a flower. This one does have a little crease in it there. I don't think it's got any tears along the edges though. So we'll run that whole thing as one lot. That's a pretty nice. I think I'm going to start this at. I'll start at $8. I think that's pretty fair on that. So, you know what? I'm just going to start at 6 so I can click run next. So $6 for all this, and that is off and running. So you got that card. You have the ink blotter. You have the die cuts that are in here. I guess I ran it at 3, so thanks for the bids. Roses. I love this. My favorite piece in there. Her look. And then this die cut didn't have some damage. This one, the calendar for the sarsaparilla, that one's nice. Then whatever this was, I don't know if it's cut from a magazine cover or some kind of something or another. Then you had the flower die cut. And then this color picture here, most likely from a book. Thank you, Grove Harlot. Let me put your name on that. Yeah, my table's already getting dirty, so So I'll just apologize in advance. All this stuff is dusty. I just picked it up yesterday and did not, I mean, I really hadn't even looked that closely through it other than to see it had trade cards in it. So, hey, the dustier the better on antiques, though, right? Yeah, my hands are, I probably should have wore gloves, but after I deal with this, I'll have to, okay, everybody close your ears. I'm going to vacuum off the table. All right. You're welcome. All right, so let me just start grabbing. So here's it's like a deconstructed scrapbook. So here's the cover, and they glued 4 trade cards on this. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to run 3 or 4 pages at a time because running this whole thing, I mean, it's huge. So I think shipping would be too expensive, and since it's all torn up anyway, I don't think keeping it together would have the value if it's was in good shape. So anyway, this is the cover, and it's Gunther's candy. So I don't know if somebody could soak these to get them off or not, but they're cool nonetheless. Here's some watches, the crown-filled case. It's a jewelry advertisement. Here's a flower one, and here's Charles W. Barnes hats and furs. So there's one. I'll do like 3 pages. We'll see, and we'll start them at $3. We'll do $1 a page. All right, then here's this one. Looks like sporting ladies here. We have the tennis player. That's L.B. Miller and Company. They're all L.B. Miller and Company. She's got maybe a paddle for a boat. I think she's riding. That looks like a whip for a horse. And that one, I'm not sure about that one. And then on the back, you have the Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company, A&P. Well, so somebody knows more about trade cards than me. What age would you think these are? Are they probably 1800s, early 1900s? So these 3 are all A&P. We used to shop at the A&P. Then you have a horse, a dog. Okay, here we go. 1882, I think it's that one. Yeah, 1882. So there's 2 pages. We'll do one more. Oh, wait. Did I show the back of that one? Oh, yeah. And then on this 3rd page, we just have a big, like, goose planner. See if I can show the whole thing. Oh, here we go. We can kind of. Oh, so it's an advertisement for something. That one's looks like it'll be pretty easy to get off there. And then we have some die cuts, and then a card in the center. So we'll do all 3 of these pages. I'm just going to do run next. I think it'll start it at $3. And here we go. Thank you, Shelly Cha. Yeah, we should have fun going through this stuff. I'd say there's going to end up being at least 10 to 15 lots of it. So thanks for the bids, everyone. And Shelly Cha took that one. That was your first purchase from me. I really appreciate it. I used to always play my nose flute when somebody made their first purchase, but I'm not sure where my nose flute is right now. It's probably good for y'all that I can't find it. All right. Cool. I'm glad they're your jam. I mean, I like all ephemera, but I don't like. I used to be such a collector of everything, but at one point my wife told me I had to start getting rid of stuff, like 'cause I kept everything, and pretty much for the last 20 years or more, I've been more about the hunt and just loving that I own stuff for a short period of time and that I have pictures of it or whatever, memories, pictures. There's very little I keep anymore, but I just love looking at all this stuff. All right, so here's page 1. You got the little girl fishing, or a young girl. I don't know that she's that little. And then this one's maybe looking out over her garden. And you have two with cats. It said, "Did you see me get the best of him?" And it says, look for your remedy, pussy, on the other side. So I guess on the other side of this is an advertisement for something. And that one's 1881, I think is the date. I need to get my magnifying glass. And then this one says, uh, I think it's missing some letters. Or wait, the Maltese, 'tis he, me rival. Oh wait, 'tis he, the Maltese, me rival. I think a good family remedy. So, and then on the back of this, you have a girl with her dog, and then an ad for Brown's Iron Bitters, a true tonic. Lady, so this is an ink blotter here. Well, a lady's blotter, yeah. So an ink blotter there. So that's the first page. Uh, this is going to be a bonus page. I'm not going to count this one because it's missing some stuff, but it's on this one. It's got some Happy New Year's cards. Wonder what's in here. Well, if I can get it. Nothing, but there's an envelope on that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4 Happy New Year's cards. And then on the back, you have a bird and another Happy New Year's card and whatever this is. So I'm not counting that one. So that's all one page there. Oh, wow. I guess we'll count this as a page. So this is one of those handmade, like die cut cards, I guess. Look at, I mean, it's got doilies on it. It's got die cuts. It's got a lot of everything going on. Very busy. Try to show you the layers there. So you got that. And there's the back of it. So that'll be two. It does have a few little tears, like right here, you can see. And then some damage to some of the different pieces, but still a neat piece. So that's two. And then the last one. Yeah, these pages are so brittle. You know what? Let me put those aside because those are kind of still attached, so we'll sell them together. Tell you what, we'll just count this as the last page. It's actually a couple of pages, but they're still like bound. All right, so you have whatever this card is here. You have Live Big Company's extract of beef. Then you have this kid with an egg and a genie coming out. Then a German cologne one. Some boys pushing a Christmas tree. Another German cologne. We got him. And whatever this one is. And then the little girl watering her flowers. Then if we open it up, you got some die cuts along the edges. And then a card that says Wilson Spice Company wishes you a Merry Christmas. So a Christmas card. 1890, I think is the date on that one. And then there's nothing on the back. Tell you what, there wasn't much. Let me grab one more. Let me see if I can find a single page down here. Just a second. Here we go. I want to make sure you are getting good bang for your buck here. All right, so this one's got a Merry Christmas from Stetson's Dry Goods Store, and it's got the bird. That's a big one. And then you have Ayer's Cherry Pectoral, cures colds, cough, and all diseases of the throat and lungs. You have the kid playing the violin, and then this one's a thread, the best thread for sewing machines. Willimantic. Ye knight of ye silver thimble challenges ye world. And then on the back of this one, whatever this one is down here, then you have B.T. Babbitt's, and then these two larger cards up here. In the days and years of the future, may prosperity and peace attend you. Copyright 1881, I think. I'm going to start this one. I'm going to run and grab my magnifying glass so I can see these. All right, we're going to run next. $3 start and getting all those. It's a few more than 3 pages. That's running. Be right back. All right, I got my magnifying glass now. Let's see. Whoa. Thanks for the bids, everyone. Hey, KC Stationer, Urban. Welcome back, Allison. Welcome back, Secret Grotto. I don't know if y'all ever actually left. I know that Whatnot just likes to randomly show that people aren't in the show anymore. All right, so Cha, I will put this with your other items down here. All right, let's see what we got. Still here. Yeah, it's weird. Whatnot will just randomly like say you're back when you never left. Happens to me all the time. I'll be watching a show and they'll be, welcome back, Stuart. And I'm like, well, I never left. But well, welcome in, KC Stationer. We're going through an old strap book that I found yesterday. It definitely fits the category of musty and dusty and old antiques because it was basically falling apart, but there's some really cool stuff in it. All right, so these are actually 3 pages attached, I think. So we have Don't Buy Any McLean's Pills Without the Signatures. So you got that one, and then I Am the Way, the Truth, and the Life. So you got a Bible verse on there. And then I Am Forget Me Not, Clark's ONT. Then we have another of these cherry pectoral. I think we saw one of those. And it's mentioned these are all glued on, but I'm pretty sure you can get them off. I know somebody mentioned that you can get these off, so I'm sure ChatGPT or Google can help you with that. And this one's Scott's Emulsion, Our Boy, then a Dancing Girl, and then, oh, I like this one. What's on the back? Well, we don't know, but here's Shamming Sick and Who Said Rats. So you have the dog, and it's for Pond's Extract. Let's see. Actually, this is quite a few pages. Well, there's nothing on these pages. Let's see. Nothing there, nothing there. So we'll just count this as one, it looks like. All right, here we go. I don't know why they skipped all those pages. Then we have a Brooks Cotton Wilmantic Thread. This one does have a little tear out of the corner up there, but you got the girl with her kitten. Then you have a James C. Taylor Druggist in Bridgeport, Pennsylvania. Rejoice in every good thing. Here's this one. Met somebody measuring somebody. Here's another Wilmantic Threads. We've had quite a few of those Wilmantic Threads, and there's a card there. And nothing on the back. So let me get another page because for all those pages there really wasn't that much there. Let's see. All right, this one's stock. This one's cram packed full. So, all right. So you have kid sitting in the chair here. I don't know what these are ads for, but you have the kid there and the kid there. Then you have compliments of N.K. Marshall, photographer. Then Clark Smile In, looks like maybe thread again. One Price Clothier in Circleville, Ohio. There's Clark Smile In Spool. There's a kid eating her porridge. There's a kid with a hoop and a jump rope. There's Richardson Brothers Trunk Manufacturers. Got like half a card here. Sorry. Another Ohio one. All right, so then if we flip it over, if I can grab it. And then on the back, we have Purge cotton, just the kind Mama told me to get. You got this, and then you have a Hain and Myers wishing you a Merry Christmas. This one does have some damage there that you can see. Here's Hard to Beat. Another coat spool threads or thread spools. There's another one for a cotton, and then there's that one. So we'll run all these starting at $3, and that is off and running. Oops, getting a drink of water real quick. That's why I got quiet. I'm still here. We got KC Stationer in. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody for the bids. My hands are definitely getting dirty from these, so just fair warning. I'll put all these inside like a poly mailer, though, inside of a box. So it won't, if you get anything else that's not dirty, it won't contaminate it. So what's the piece on this one that people are chasing? I don't know that much about Victorian trade cards, but there must be something good on this one. Thank you, Shelly Cha. Oops. If you can check your payment, Shelly. I know when you start buying a lot of stuff in a row, sometimes your bank gets a little suspicious and you just have to approve it. So, all right. Let's see next. I'll let you know when I see it come through too. So, all right, here's another back cover. Hey, War Eagle 86. So this is the back cover of the scrapbook, I guess. Well, this is a loose page here. And we got I Drink Gorman's English Ginger Ale here. And then we have Thomas Shanks. Then another I Drink Gorman's English Ginger Ale. And then here's the one that's shaped like a light bulb, I guess. Or no. I'm not sure what that one is. Then you have a couple of birds. Oh, they're bellows, fire bellows. So, and then actually on the back cover here, you have some grocery people. Hey, it went through, Shelly. Thank you. Yeah. I know when I first started and whatnot, you'd get in these especially shows where you would win stuff for like $1 back when people used to run a lot of stuff for $1. And yeah, your credit card company would just kind of freak out on you. But anyway. All right, let me grab another page to put with that one. Yeah, that's what I figured. So this is the cover. This must be a different scrapbook cover. I'm going to throw it in because it's just cool graphics here. It says, I will fail thee, not forsake thee, Joshua 1:5. But it's all painted. But yeah, well, that may not have been the cover. I think that's just a cutout now that I look at the back of it. So it does have some missing pieces, but it was next in the stack, so I'll throw that in. Let's see what else we got here. All right, and then here's the next one. These are all for the bankrupt store. I'm not sure what the bankrupt store is. It says compliments of the bankrupt store. So is it a store that went bankrupt or? Oh, cool. Well, I do not have any UFO or alien stuff, Wide Eye DMA. I'm trying to think if I've ever really had anything like that, but I do come across a lot of stuff, so I'll keep my eyes open. So there's four of these, and just to point out, like, I think they all have some like little bit of damage to them on the front. Nothing on the back of that page. Let me grab a couple more pages. Oh, these are neat. So you have it should, whenever I pin the item, it would, since it's already pinned, it should show you what the shipping cost is. But the most you're going to pay for the whole show is $9.21, as long as you're in the USA. Because I have my shipping capped at that. So basically, once you buy a pound's worth of stuff, it'll be free shipping after that. So worst case scenario, you'll spend $9.21. I'm not sure what these are. There may be something on the back that we can't see, but some really good imagery on these. So I don't know till I decide to quit, Casey. Usually, usually I run at least 2 hours. I've run as long as 4 hours or 5 hours before, especially when I was doing all the postcards. Because the postcard shows that I was doing were kind of like these. I just had these. I literally had probably 20 boxes of postcards that I'd pulled out of a farmhouse. Had no idea what was in them, and we just went through them. And it was, you never knew what I was going to pull out. We had Halloween postcards, we had baseball postcards from the early 1900s. So, well, cool. I'm glad that you stopped by. Let's see. Let me go ahead and get one more for this. All right. This one's messed. I'm gonna put, this was a Valentine card. I think it's got missing pieces, but we'll put it in there. And then you got these here. So Gates baking powder is marked. These are not marked here on the front anyway. Here's another Gates baking powder. I'm gonna assume maybe they're all Gates baking powder since they look like this one. And then this one's the Olis Restaurant and Billiard Parlor. This one down here. And then on the back of this one, you have Pianos, Organs and Company. I am an Italian musician. What are you? I buy my musical instruments at Charles Eckerd. And then I'm a Remington sewing machine girl. What are you? Buy the Remington machine. Then you got that one. And then there's a Fine Boots and Shoes, Columbus, Ohio. Oh, that one's neat. It does have, this one's got some damage here. So we got those three. And then this one's stoves, mantles, and grates. And then we saw the back. All right, here's the next one, and that is running. Thanks for the bid. Hey, Stock Diva. Anybody else? I'm Ashley Dell. Thanks for coming in. We're going through all these old 1800 scrapbook pages. There were scrapbook pages. There were some other miscellaneous things. There may still be some other miscellaneous things in the stack too. So, hey, just love and blessings. Thanks for coming in. While this finishes up, I am Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures here in Knoxville, Tennessee. You can go to franklinhillventures.com. Has links to all my social media. I do a podcast with a couple other guys. So appreciate anybody who would go out and subscribe to our podcast on YouTube. We're going to have a live show here in a couple of weeks on June 1st, I think it is, to celebrate 300 subscribers. And we're well on our way to 400 now. So, but also have Instagram and a Facebook page too. Hey, Jesse B. Stay May. Ooh, we're going to hit 100. It's been a long time since I've hit 100 on anything, so I really appreciate the bids. Thank you, KC Stationer. Let's see, I think, was that your first one? I believe it was. So let me write your name down. All right, everybody close your ears again. I'm going to clean the table up here real quick one more time. So 1, 2, 3, close your ears. right. And also, for anybody just coming in, if you see anything else in the catalog, in the auction section that you want me to run, put that lot number in the chat, or you can do a pre-bid. Let me just make sure there's no pre-bids, in fact. Nope, no pre-bids. I also have a bunch of stuff in the auction, auction now, the buy it now section, and I take offers on things. So if you see anything you like, feel free to send me an offer, and I consider all reasonable offers. So, and those also count towards your $9.21 free shipping. So, all right, I think all these pages were connected, so we'll run these as a lot. You got this one up here, some kind of card. And then this one says, see premium offers on other side. You have the little girl playing tennis. And then here's the Woolson Spice Company's Easter greetings. And then here's the diamond dies. Unfortunately, the pieces of fabric have some damage. And like the blue's almost completely missing. Here's just some cutouts of some flowers. Let's see if I can get the page turned here. So. Oh, wait, I may have missed a page. Sorry for swinging the camera around. I hope I'm not getting you. Oh, yeah, we did miss a page. Here we go. So here's search for scriptures. And here's a couple of birds. We are all the work of thy hand. So these are the first couple of religious ones. And then here's Peter Henderson and Company's Cream of the Chrysanthemums. If anybody else has kids, did you ever read the book Chrysanthemum? Yeah, I can't even say it right now. Chrysanthemum. When you were a kid, that was such a hard book to read. All right, and then here's this page. It does look like there's more religious stuff on these pages. Here's a Jesus accused. Here's an old Christmas card. Wilt thou be made whole? And then there's that one. There are quite a few pages in this little stack, though. Let's see if I can. It's hard to get your. There we go. That almost looks like a cigarette card there, but I'm not sure. Then you have a little die cut here, whatever that one is, and then somebody's calling card, Morton C. Ness, maybe, or Morton, I think, not Martin. So you got that one. Now it looks like maybe, so yeah, more, well, yeah, there are some trade cards on this one. Got some people on a picnic. You got somebody holding a bird. Then a lady with her two cows. Yeah, it's a shame we can't see the backs of these. But here's the Woolson Spice Company. The little girl reaching up to pick an, is that a pine cone maybe? Here's a petunia and an aster. Here's a winter one. And there's something new. White plum celery grows fit for table use with only one hoeing up. So they're growing celery here. Let's see if we have any more on the. Oh, none there, and none there. So that was a lot of pages, but let me throw in a couple more because I don't know. I didn't think those cards seemed as exciting. Maybe it's just me, but well, I mean, I've still got a pretty good stack over here. We still have this many back here, so there's still at least a couple more lots out of that. But after I finish these, for now anyway, I do find trade cards periodically. All right. This one I'm just throwing in. I mean, it's the cards ripped. One of the cards is ripped, but it's just 3 flower cards. And then this one also, here's somebody's calling card, GM Van Hyde, Circleville, Ohio. and then the bottom of a trade card there. All right, and then we'll do this page, and then we'll run it. So then you have Bible prayers here with a bird, and then compliments of the season. So I guess a Christmas card. And then you have these ducks are coming out of an egg. And then Professor Horsford's phosphatic baking powder. I like this one. You got the little baby holding a toy. And then beware of vile imitations. So, all right, we'll run all these. And that is running. Hey, EMS Shell and Effie, thanks for coming in. We're doing a Victorian trade card scrapbook that I found yesterday. Just pulling pages out of it because it was already pretty much separated. So we've seen some pretty cool things. Yeah, for all of you who win these, make sure and send me pictures of, like, if you're able to get them out of the scrapbooks. I'm always curious, like, what people do with things. And I know, like, the fabric crossing the Delaware was going to be framed, and I can't wait to see that. The coolest thing I ever sold, it wasn't on here. It was a church pew, it was like a 14-foot church pew. It was huge, and it was curved. And somebody bought it who had a mountain cabin up near Asheville, North Carolina. And they sent me a picture after they had put it there, and it fit perfectly. It was just the right place for it. So, all right, Casey Stationer, thank you. That will go with your other items here. Hey, the Vintage Daisy Shop, Mystic River Treasures. Thanks for coming in. We're going through an old antique trade card scrapbook from the 1800s right now. Just doing like 3 and 4 pages at a time. All right, here is a big card with a little cap. I think we saw a smaller version of this exact card earlier. It will please you, French Villa soap. And then you got, Lydia E. Pinkham's vegetable compound. I've sold some of her catalogs or almanacs or whatever they are before, the Lydia Pinkham's. I've had some of those on Whatnot. Then here's Clark's Spool Cotton. This one is torn down here. Here's a Merry Christmas from Stutson's Cash Dry Goods Store. And then finally, Gold Medal Coffee. Then on this side, you have a Christmas card with quite a bit of wear on the edge. This looks like, a remnant of a trade card there, but then on the back, you do have a whole trade card. Ready-made clothing in Circleville, Ohio. Then you have a flower basket picture, and then some die cuts of fruit and flowers down here. All right, let me grab another one. Then you have this kid in a vase. Just looking to see, nope, can't lift it. A die cut of a carriage being pulled by horses. Then you have Professor Horsford's Phosphatic, Rumsford Chemical Works, and then another one for their baking powder, healthful and nutritious. And then here's the interior of the first floor, Root and Sons Music Company in Chicago, Illinois. That one's cool. So you got that one. Let me grab a couple more. Put this back up here. I'm sorry I'm shaking the camera so much. Maybe I'll leave the camera up there and move the paper. We'll try that for the next couple. Here's another one of these German cologne, Hoyt's German cologne with the frog. And then Still and Price manufacturers, Chicago and St. Louis. Oh, we can see the back of one here. It's going to be a sarsaparilla. Air sarsaparilla purifies the blood, stimulates the vital function, restores and preserves health, and infuses new life and vigor throughout the whole system. Does a lot. Does have some like spots up here. Here's best wishes for the new year. Here's Ayer's cathartic pills. You got like a grandfather with, I guess, his two kids, two grandchildren there. And then this one's got some damage there you can see on the corners. And it's a picture of maybe a barn or something. So you got that one. Let me pull one more. Here's a patch of some sort we'll throw in. Or it was like a little needle point somebody did. Here's two here. Got the little fairy with a flower, and then somebody riding a grasshopper or some other kind of bug there. Here's Ohio Furniture Store, Fine Furniture in Circleville, Ohio. And it's got the remnants of something else on the back. Got a couple more of these loose ones, I think. Well, that may be the... Well, we'll do this one too. It's got a big circle cut out of the middle for some reason. So they chopped this card, but did not catch this one at least. So you got that. They're like little paint palettes. There's another one of those. Looks like maybe it got a little bit chopped right there. This one and this one both have wear. I don't know what they cut out there. Then you got, these almost look like bookmarks. Butterflies, cat, cat, and butterflies. Tell you what, let's go and run all that, and that is running. Yeah, that bigger stuff. Back then you just drank some stuff with a bunch of alcohol in it, and you felt better. So, because I think all those things were, like almost 100% alcohol. I guess you feel better for the rest of the day, but then the next morning you're not feeling so great. Got KC Stationer in. Thanks for the bids, everyone. Thanks so much to everybody for showing up today. I know there's, like when the airlines say it, you have a lot of choices on whatnot, so I appreciate you sticking with me this afternoon. May try to talk my wife into going to eat Mexican tonight. Although we just had Mexican a couple of nights ago, and we also threw Taco Bell in one night this week, so maybe we won't eat Mexican. Let's see. KC Stationer. That will go with your other items. Hey, the Lassa, Mr. Collector of Kentucky. Stately. Anybody else I missed? If you see anything else besides just the scrapbook pages you want me to run, let me know and we'll get to those. I'll probably go in and finish running through these scrapbook pages and then we can jump back over to some other stuff. Oh, and also seeing KC Stationer unlock silver. Congratulations. Make sure you click on the little crown up in the top and claim your reward. I also have a 10% off coupon in the show notes that'll be good for 10% off any one purchase. So make sure you claim all the rewards and coupons that you can. Right, here's another one that somebody cut a hole out of the middle, but at least it looks like they didn't hit the cards on this side. This one's some kind of electric oil, it says. And this one's also electric oil. Then you have MK Marshall Photographer. So all of these three are MK Marshall Photographer. Then you have Queen of the Sewing Machines, T. Shanks. I guess that's a calling card for somebody who was a seamstress. And she was Queen of the Sewing Machine. All right, on this one's got a lot of damage. Sapolio. Then we have Hain and Myers ready-made clothing, and another Hain and Myers. I don't know what they were doing when they cut these out like this. Yeah, they pretty much, they hit this one, they hit this one, they hit this one, so the only one that didn't get hit. Nope, they hit that one too. So all the ones on the back have been cut. All right, let's see what else we have. All right, we have a soap for all nations. This one's cool. You have a railroad on there and industrial stuff and people from different countries, it looks like. Here's a die cut of a lady, some other die cuts on here. Then we hops and malt bitters, the great blood purifier. Yeah, so basically it's beer, and that'll purify your blood. Maybe I'll have a beer tonight. This one does have a chunk out of the bottom corner there. I'm not sure what this is. This was, I don't know, just a little blue piece of paper. And then this one's awesome. And it looks like maybe it, well, I can't tell. It might have just a little bit of trim there. But everything else looks good on that. But yeah, it's a die cut snake. King of the blood. And this guy's stabbing this snake over here. Disease. So I guess this is a disease. This must be some kind of medicine that purifies your blood like everything else did back in the 1800s. Here's a little Cupid. Oops. Here's another Cupid-looking character here, and then this kid's talking to a snail. He probably been drinking some of those blood purifiers. All right, tell you what, let's run that stuff. That's a pretty good lot there, I think, with the snake, and that is off and running. Hey, Jay Will. Hey, Sock Pipe Skunk. Gree 8132. Hey, Chevalier. Thanks to everybody for coming in. We're going through these scrapbook pages from an old Victorian scrapbook. Yeah, that is awesome there. That's probably been my favorite thing we've seen so far. Hope everybody's else's weather is as good as ours. It is just wonderful here today. That's like high in the low 70s, high 60s after it'd been so hot and humid. We had some really bad storms a couple of nights ago. In fact, like the people in London, Kentucky, keep them in your prayers because their town got devastated, which is just north of here. And then up in Oak Ridge and Oliver Springs, they had a tornado come through too, but I don't think it really did much damage. Thank you, Casey Stationer. Stick that with your other stuff. All right. Yeah, we didn't. Of course, you watch the news now while this stuff's happening, and it's almost like they cry wolf too much now that they do the tornado warnings from radar instead of having to see it. Because, they told us it was bad right around our house, but we never really saw any evidence. So, they do that too much. You start tuning it out. But yeah, we came through unscathed where I live. All right, Jesus Christ, the same yesterday, today, and forever. And then here's another Christ myself. I am the resurrection. Here's a little dolly die cut, like handmade card. It looks like thou art no more a servant, but a son. So far, most of these appear to be like religious themed. Although here's like a Valentine's card of some sort, it looks like. And then this one's got quite a bit of damage on it there. Then we have these beauties here holding this creepy looking doll. Then we have a Clark spool cotton. And then never known to fail. I'm not sure what that one's for. But probably another blood thinner or something. They're getting ready to drink this. And then this one says... I'm not sure what that says. But anyway, you got some dancing girl there. And then down here you have, this one's got damage on the bottom. And then this one, we've seen this one a couple of times. All right, we saw that side already. Oh, okay, sock hop skunk. That's hard to say fast. Yeah, if you have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to ask. I don't have any baseball postcards right now. We ran through some baseball postcards a couple of months ago when we were looking through some postcard boxes that I found. The coolest one, we found like a 1914 Chicago White Sox one, I think, that had all the players. And then there was like a 1903 Nashville Sounds for the Nashville minor league club that somebody had gone to the game and like described all that happened during the game and gave the score, and it had pictures of all the players on the front. But no, unfortunately, unfortunately, I guess for you, but for the person who bought them, it was cool. But yeah, but I do come across that kind of thing periodically, so check back. Just some little die cuts and a picture of a flower on this one. And then this one's got a chunk out of the top there. And then we have James Libby and Company. Looks like a shirt company, maybe. Then you got this kid playing with a cat in some kind of outfit. I'm not sure what it is. And then this one's also got a chunk out of the bottom. Let me pull a few more here. Who will be the clerk? I said the lark. If it's not in the dark, I'll be the clerk. So it's, I think, yeah, it's like a die cut. I don't know what it's an ad for. But that's got titmouse, goldfinch, nightingale. So all the birds are identified. Lark does have like something was glued there or something maybe. Then you got all these other little bird die cuts around it. And then more bird die cuts on the back. Who killed Cock Robin? I said the sparrow with my bow and arrow. Who saw him die? I said the fly with my little eye. So you got those. And then you have this page that's just all little die cuts. I'm not going to talk about each one. I'll just show them. Look at the old bicycle there. And then on the back, so more like little die cuts here. So not so much trade cards on this part of the scrapbook. All right, we'll go ahead and run those. And $3 start, 15 seconds, I think it is. And those are off and running. Welcome in, Simmer Down Stacy. There's no friends at auctions, unfortunately. What is it? All's fair in love and auctions. That's what I always hear, but I have seen, like when I used to go to in-person auctions. I mean, I saw a fist fight break out one time over something. It was crazy. Like nothing in life's that important that you should get in a fight over it. But anyway, winter. So, are you going on today, Sock Cop Skunk? All right, Selly Chaw. I'm glad you got that one. Put that with your other stuff. And as I mentioned earlier, normally I always ship out on Monday, sometimes even Saturday. But it will probably, well, it won't be Monday because that's a holiday. So it'll probably be Tuesday before this stuff goes out because we have a wedding to go to tomorrow. So everybody make sure you go bookmark Sock Hop Skunk and go to their very first show on Whatnot. I can't even hardly remember when I did my first show. I've been on here for almost 4 years now, I guess. All right, let's see what we have on this one. All right, so you have like a little couple of die cuts. This one, oh wait, that's because the paper's covered. I was going, this one's cut, but no, it's the paper covered. So on this page, you have these two. All right, and then you have, she's pondering something. Guess this is he loves me not. And then this one says Mrs. OK. They wrote in there. Then you have a little silver angel sticker up in the corner. So you got that one. I think I'm going to have to take my tablecloth off and wash it after this one. Here's a loose something or another. Oh, it's like a bridge, maybe a bridge tally of some sort. Anyway, put that there. Ah, man, it's a shame. Here's another. It's a shame this has the chunk out of it because this is a nice piece. It's a die cut, the same kind of one we've seen with the cat, but she's holding the bird here. And look at, I mean, they die cut every little piece of those out. But yeah, it does have quite a bit of wear. You got a crease there, you have some stuff going on there, and you have the big tear. But oh no, now we're into animals. So we had birds, so now we got sheep. So sheep die cuts. These on the edge over here do have some tearing, and then some flower die cuts at the top. And he's got his hoop and giving this girl a flower, but she looks nonplussed. And then she's hauling something around in a wheelbarrow, and then some more flower ones down there. Let's see, I showed the back. Yeah, that was the sheep. Let me grab a couple more. Then you have a boy and a girl studying. Unfortunately, the boy's got some wear there. Then some flower die cuts there. And then on the back, oh, yeah, that one's not torn. You have these people in a goat pulled carriage. And then a gold line sticker, but it's got a little wear it there. And then look at that dog. It is huge. I guess that's a St. Bernard. And then look at this dog leaping in. Oh, I guess it's jumping over this stick. So let's see how many I got back here still. Tell you what, I'll throw one more in this stack. And I think we got enough for maybe one or two more. Then here's a couple. Now we got house die cuts. Had some black Americana stuff there. So, all right, we'll go ahead and run next. And that is off and running. Thank you, Shelly. Welcome in, Wolverine Flipper Bean 1992. Thanks for coming in. We're about to finish up these die cut scrapbook or the scrapbook pages with trade cards and die cuts. Then we can see if there's any other interest in anything else that I have. Thanks for the bids, everyone. All right, Sally took that one. Guess I'll just wait and vacuum here in a second when I get through all this. All right, so now we have more birds. Looks like these are more like parrots and other, well, there's some ducks, so they're not all exotic birds, but parrots and parakeets, and there's a swan. Then down at the bottom, they decided to put this dog, I guess, looking up at all the birds. And then on the back of that one, it's like a die cut flower arrangement they did. Then we said, as happy as a king. So it's a die cut, like kids playing on a fence. There's some bird. Well, there's a dog and there's a bird. Harmony. Then some flowers. Then a couple of die cut couples here. Then just some flowers along the edge. All right, these are connected. So there's another one of these stickers. You have a silver angel. Then here's an indigo bunny. I guess that may be a postcard there. It's got staining at the top and some other cards there. Then on the back, now we have a bunch of die cut dogs. And then in here, we have die cut wild animals. You have a monkey, a goat, a camel, a bear, a tiger, and a bison, it looks like. And then just some other miscellaneous ones there. And then there is something over here, but it looks in pretty bad shape. Let me see how many I got left. I'll do one more in this stack, then I think we'll have one more, and that'll finish up the scrapbook. Now we're into elephants, and then there's a New Year greeting. There's a big camel with some kids riding on it, more camels, and then some flower die cuts. So we'll go ahead and run this one. That's off. Whoops. That is off and running. Ooh. Yeah. The hardest part about doing these shows is just talking for this many straight hours. All right, Shelly Chaw, good deal on that one. And I think this will be the last one, so we'll just do whatever's left in this last one. Yeah, well, as soon as I get off here, I'll be okay. But yeah, I might be a little hoarse. All right. So yeah, this one was, I don't know if they made this. It's got the gold border, but it is something got cut out over there. So these look like postcards here and here. Then on the back, some more trade cards. That one's got a corner that's about to come off. I'm not sure what these are for. There's a bird. You got that one and that one. Let's see, I've done the other side. Yep. Here's another one that they cut something out of the middle for some reason, but we have elephants, birds, there's a fish, more birds, parrots, more birds. Got that one. So I'm just doing everything that's left. All right, looks like maybe we're back into some more trade cards here now. Let's see if this one, yeah, well, yeah, that one's torn. We have choose the best shade. It looks like it's for Coats Thread again. There's some kids flying a kite. Merry Christmas. There's Clark's Mile In Spool Cotton. There's a rose. There's Buchanan's Carbolic Disinfecting Soap, the best dog soap in the world. They're cleaning their dog there. There's a cat, a child's shoe without the ASTC. Oh, a child's shoe without the black tip on the toe does not even make a safe bird's nest. Oh, I guess they made their bird's nest out of inferior shoelaces, and the cat's going to get them. There's carpets and curtains. Then on the back of this one, we have Italy, Sweden, Switzerland, Holland, and Russia. And then just a couple of miscellaneous like die cuts along the edges. This should be a good lot. There's still several, but I'm just going to do the rest of them. So this will be a good one to end the scrapbook on. Here's an auction sale advertisement. Then you got this girl in a bowl in the ocean, I guess, with a cat and two cats. And then there she is in her bowl with the sale on it. These are sewing ones. That one's got a, and then this one's messed up at the bottom. Never too late to mend. That's what that one says. And then we have Monday. Monday is the wash day, and I never sulk or mope because the clothes am nice and clean by using Higgins soap. Then you have this coat was sewed on a single banjo in the ocean. Oh, mama, don't baby's foot look sweet in a pair of Solers and Company's beautiful shoes? Whoops. Yeah, this was just in there. It's got a tear, but we'll throw it down. Goodness, I have stuff all over me. Oh, here's a loose die cut, like jaguar or cheetah or something. Here's Ohio Furniture Store fine furniture. And we have a bunch of eggs. Well, there's an apple. There's another egg. Fine parlor goods, more eggs. Then on the back, we have BT Babbitt's. That one's got damage in the corner. There's a loose rooster. So all these are BT Babbitt's up at the top. And then there's a Clark's. There's some kind of, another die cut. Excelsior Clothing House. There's another Carbolic laundry soap. We've seen several of those. And then there's the Lilliputians with Gulliver, I guess, tying them up with J&P coat spool cotton. Okay, we looked at that one. Here's birthday greeting. Please turn over, so we can't turn it over. So there's those two. Here's one that's come off. It does have tape residue, but that's Rose Sunday at the Third Universalist Sunday School, 1882. Here's another one of those little score tally things that's loose. Welcome in, everybody who's coming in right now. We're doing the last of these scrapbook pages. This one's got damage, but it's a good one to finish on. There's another one of those bellows. There's a robin and some other kind of bird. And then we have I Drink Gorman's English Ginger Ale. Let's see what the date on that one is. 1881 is the date on that one. And here's a die cut little rose carriage. Here's a little flower. Here's 1883 with the compliments of the Burdett Organ Company. And then it's surrounded by die cuts. Then on the back, we have Dr. Price's special flavoring extracts and fruit coloring. One second. Yeah, good. It came off. There's I Drink Gorman's English Ginger Ale again. And there's Soap for All Nations. James Libby and Company. Parker Tonic. And then Dr. Price's Cream Baking Powder. There's actually more left than I thought, so this will be a really big lot. Bunch of die cuts on this one. Just flowers and couples. And then flowers on this one. Now we have kitty cat die cuts. And then the girl in the center holding the cat. And then more flowers. There's another one of those rose carriages. There's a sarsaparilla ad for the Food for the Wise, Hood sarsaparilla with the owls. It does have some tears down in the corner, mostly complete there. And then he's painting her with coal black, Carter's coal black. And then there's Brown's Iron Bitters. Here's another die cut. Here's some kind of card. Then you got this one. Well, maybe, hold on. I don't know. Whatever these remnants were there in the lot. And then, yeah, you have these people on a seesaw. It says seesaw. And some other die cuts there. Then on the back, you got the 4 dogs sitting up, and then somebody with their big, huge dogs there. Here's a jersey. So we can actually see the back of this one. You know, it's been in a scrapbook. It's got a chunk out of the corner there. And then here's some old ads. They put breakfast cocoa. So that was cut out of a newspaper, it looks like. And then this looks like a page out of a book or something. It's like a piece of lint. Probably breathing in dust from the 1800s here. Hey, what's up, Paperboy? Looking forward to being on the show here in just about 2 weeks now, I guess. A little under 2 weeks. And I think last but not least, goodness, it's a mess back here. Couple final things here. You got this one. And then you got this one here. And then this die cut here. Let me make sure there's nothing that's falling in the floor or just loose back here to throw in. But I think that's it, actually. Yep, I believe that's the last of it. Oh, no, I lied. Yeah, no. That was there, but it's completely destroyed, so. All right, so we're going to get this one started. Last of the scrapbook page lots. I want to say thanks to everybody who bid on those. Hope you enjoy them when you get them. And this is the last one, so here we go. And there's a lot of them, a lot of pages in this one. Oh, that's running $3. I'm glad the last one got back to some trade cards. It's actually a good mix of trade cards and die cuts. Yep, just under 2 weeks. So then we have our live on June 1st. So right before we come on your show, we'll be live. So. And if you want to know why Paper Goys call me Sturt, you'll have to watch our podcast to find out. Wes has a horrible time pronouncing my name for some reason, but all right, Sally Cha took the last one. Let me put that with your other stuff, and let's see what kind of mess we have left behind here. All right, yes, so look in the, if you look in the auction catalog, Casey Stationer, tell you what, everybody take a second, look in the catalog, the auction, and if you want to look in the buy it now and make offers on anything, that's fine too. I'm going to kind of try to clean this up a little bit real quick before I run anything else. So give me a minute. I'm going to get quiet here for just a second, and I'll probably run the vacuum here in a second too. Yeah, so this is what is left over from the scrapbook. Let me see if I can just run the vacuum. Of course, I don't have a trash can. I'll just stick it over here. All right, everybody close your ears. Well, that actually cleaned up fairly nice, I guess. And I'm going to go wash my hands too real quick. So let me go do that, then I'll be right back, and then we can go through some of the other stuff that I have left. Be right back. All right, I'm back. All cleaned up now. So in addition to the stuff in the catalog, I have some old letters I think we could look through if I can find them. They're mostly 1800s, early 1900s, mostly business correspondence from the like England, I think is what most of them are. So I could run some of those, or if there's anything at all in the catalog you want me to run. So, oh, cool. You know, I remember my wife used to. I don't think I have any. I don't think I have any more snapshots today, other than, hey, what? Let's run this. Let's run this photo album here. It's got some kind of like snapshots in it. So this will be 12. Let me pin it. All right. So this is a photo album, and it's. Oops, did I not get it pinned? Let's see. Huh? My pinning's not working for some reason. Let me pin it from my phone and see if it works. My laptop's, when I pin something, it wasn't pinning it. All right, 12, not 11, 12, colon. We're going to pin that. There we go. Yeah, I guess the desktop stuff's not working right. All right, so we have this photo album. It's primarily from the 1950s, but some of the loose photos in here were older. This is exactly how I got it. Um, it's kind of a combination of things on pages, and there's just photographs shoved in here. So you have on the first page here, you have these old car photos. That was a Chrysler 1949, and then whatever kind of car that is. And then a guy in front of his house. And it was over 75 photos in here. You know, like I said, some are loose, some are not. So there they are sitting in front of the sailboats. Looks like they're, for some reason, I think they're in college, but is that a baby he's holding? Couldn't figure out what it was at first. And there's another picture of a baby, looks like on a tricycle. Look at the like little, I guess that's that, maybe that same tricycle. There they are, and there's a 1960 old, no, 1954. I think it says old, something olds. So I guess it's an Oldsmobile. All right, Casey Stationer, thanks for coming in so much. And as I mentioned, your stuff will ship out most likely on Tuesday. Then all these people are identified in here. Uncle Pete, maybe, or something. That's me, it says. So there's that one and that one. There's Ernie Woods, 1952, and there's Pamela Sue, 1953. And a couple of smaller photos here. It's like a sailor, maybe. 1950. Then that one there. And all these. Just look like most of them have names written on them. And as you can see, a lot of the pages are detached here. I don't know if that one has. I don't know about a lot. Somebody holding a baby. Somebody out in front of their house. This one's kind of faded out. Some people sitting on a fence. July 1950 on that one. And then this baby here. Norma, somebody, 1953. Here they are in the car. We got a military man here. These are taped together. That one is identified on the back, I think, but I'm not sure who it is. In a park, it looks like. And here we are with a horse. Looks like they're maybe plowing a field. Got those. And then that one. Once we get through and show them, we'll just do the auction for like 15 seconds. So we spend the time on the front end looking at them here. Here's Pamela Sue again, 1953. So she's a little older. There they are in their radio flyer. I can remember having a radio flyer when I was a kid. Hey, S. Gray, thanks for coming in. Schurzman, Hannah Solo, anybody else I missed? Silly Anna. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Kind of back to quote regular ephemera now after doing the scrapbook pages for the last hour or so. There's that one. Let's see. I think there were some more in the back, but let me put the phone back up here so I can turn the pages. Well, yeah, I guess there was only one or two empty pages there. Standing in front of the car. (1940), so we went back in time a little bit. There's Aunt Beulah and somebody. I don't know if that's Aunt Beulah's car. Hey, Johnny Joss. Let's see. Appreciate you coming in. Some sweethearts there. Somebody's finger made the picture there, it looks like. There's Norma. This one's bent. Let's see, is that it? Nope, there's a few more back there. Everything, for the most part, is starting at $3 today. I think anything that's left would start at $3. We ran a few of the scrapbook things at a little higher value. Some more car pictures. So, been quite a few car pictures in here. There's Sally, Jackie, and this one's bent, but it's just like a fall scene. Just a couple more pages here. Got that one. School days, 1951 and 1952. And then I think last but not least, got this one here. And I'm not sure what that is. And that's it. So we will go ahead and start this at $3. I'll kind of just open it and go through it while it runs, but start auction, $3, 15 seconds, and we are off and running. cars, sailboats, babies, children, grandparents, a little bit of everything. Mostly 1950s, like I said, with a few other years thrown in. We got R. Swede in. Thank you. Welcome in, R. Swede. I didn't see you come in. All right, R. Swede, thank you so much. That will be coming your way. All right, can you run the billhead? Sure. I think I got a couple of lots. Let me just grab anything that looks like a billhead here. Well, this technically might be more letterhead, but let me run it. And if nobody bids, that's fine. 28. Let me see if it'll let me pin from here now. It's still not. Hey, hold on. Let me refresh. Oh, it kicked me all the way out. Okay, let me come back in. Hold on just a second. See if that fixes it. I can do everything from the phone if I have to. It's just sometimes easier to pin stuff from my laptop here, but it was, I guess, locked up. All right, let me try this again. So, lot 28. Pin. There we go. All right, looks like it's working again. Whatnot can be a little bit glitchy every once in a while, but overall it works pretty well considering how many people are on it at any given time. I have never had any major problems. All right, so this one's going to be a pair of like letterhead type documents. This one's from 1916, but it's got really good graphics at the top, and that one's Van Camp Hardware and Iron Company in Indianapolis, Indiana, and they were looking to get the catalogs. And then we have Cunningham Hardware. This one's from 1902 in New Westminster, British Columbia. So you got both those. So we're going to run those for 15 seconds. Those are off and running. And while those run, I'll look for the actual bill heads here. There's one set of them. Thanks for the bids on those, guys and girls. All right, Dry Creek took those. And you unlock silver, Brian, so make sure you go claim your reward up there. Let's see if I can get it back in the sleeve here. Well, there we go. All right, then next we'll do lot 22. Hey, Jay Will, Lotho, thanks for coming in. If you see anything you want me to run, just put the lot number in the chat, or you can pre-bid and I'll watch for those as well. All right, so this is going to be 3 antique billheads. And these are all from the 1800s, so these are a little older. You have Hayden W. Wheeler and Company, 1893. Manufacturers of watch cases, gold chains, and gold jewelry. Dealers in American and Swiss watches, gold-plated jewelry. Exchanging some kind of ring, it looks like, on that one. Then we have Hood, Folkrod and Company, Dry Goods and Oceans, etc. This one's 1895. And then finally, we have R.D. Wood and Company, and this one's 1896. And this one's more of a letter than a billhead, but replying to your favor, the 30th instant, approximately 1,900 feet of inch pipe under 35-foot head. Will discharge 2 million gallons of water per 24 hours. So this one's like got remnants of something else on it. All right, so you're going to get all 3 of those. $3.15, and we're off and running. Hey, Unmellow Yellow Vintage, thanks for coming in. All right, we got Dry Creek Trading Company in. Everyone make sure you follow Dry Creek Trading Company. He runs shows here on Whatnot. All right, and then I think there was lot 21 was also billheads. And these are from the 1900s. You're welcome. This one's Statement of Bills due to Edwin G. Gillies and Company. Tech Teas, Coffees, and Spices. That one's 1900. And I think these are actually all the year 1900. They're not just 1900s. I mean, this was an 1890 pre-printed. They stamped 1900 on it. Then we have Quincy Egg Carriers Company. 2 dozen egg carriers for $8. So that one's also 1900. And then finally, E.E. Richards Flour, Grain, and Mill Stuffs, 1900. And this was 5 bushels maybe of something. So got those 3. Hey, Turner Vintage Postcards. And that is off and running. If anybody else sees anything you want me to run, let me know. I think I've been going on almost 2.5 hours now, so I'll continue to go as long as people have stuff they want me to show. So, but if not, that's fine too. We can always find somebody to raid and go watch them for a while. Thank you, Dry Creek. Hey, Perry Kallstrom, Angel Rads. Anybody else that I've missed? Hey, well, let me just go in. Let me grab a few things and run them. We'll just see if there's any interest. This is going to be a bunch of antique postcards, and it's over 50 antique postcards all from Paris. And what I'll do is show a few, and then I'll go ahead and just start it for like 45 seconds, and we'll go through as many as we can. I'm not as good at showing postcards as some people, but all these are unposted, so I'm not going to show the backs. I'll just show the fronts, but they're all marked Paris on them, and there's over 50 of them. So I would guess, I don't know if anybody knows exactly when they're from, but I would guess 1920s if I had to guess, sometime in that time frame. Although they could even be earlier because you have horse-drawn carriages, so they could be earlier than the 20s. If anybody's a postcard expert, tell me what you think on those. So a few of them look hand-tinted as well. Hey, Pipe Dreams. I'm not even going to try to read what they are, but that's a hotel of some sort. I'll just let the postcards do the talking. All right, let me go ahead and get this started. I'll do it for like 45 seconds so we can show at least most of them. $3 start for 50 plus antique postcards all from Paris, and we are off and running. I'll kind of try to go through them quick. That one looks hand tinted. Thank you, Thrifty Grabber. You're like a penny a postcard right now, or less. So good deal. Monterey or something. I never took French in high school. I always took Spanish, so I can't speak it either, though. Yeah, I would guess based on the fact it's all four, these are probably teens. All right, Thrifty Grabber. Those will be coming your way, and I think that's your first purchase from me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, if you can check your payment, Thrifty Grabber, and I'll keep an eye on it. Let's see, where'd my sticker go? All right, so I'll set those right there. And let's see what else we got we may want to run. Let's run these. Lot 19. And tell you what, this might be the last lot if there's no request. Tell you what, let me make sure there's no pre-bids real quick. I don't want to miss, no pre-bids. So if you see anything, go ahead and get those requests in the chat so I can pull it. Otherwise, I think this will be the last lot we run. And okay, yeah, no hurry. I mean, my wife didn't get home from work till after 5, so but I want to sit on here and bore everybody. So, all right, these are Randall and Kendall and Whitney catalog pages. I think they're 1800s probably. And they just have some cool old farm implements. So here's some plow type things, harrows, cultivators on that one. Then here's some lawnmowers. We got a chain roller mower. So if you're into like farm implements and stuff, these are pretty cool. Here's a Meyer spray pumps. Hey, it went through now, Thrifty Grabber. Thank you so much. And then we have a horse lawnmower. I guess that means, I don't know exactly what that means, but and then some more lawnmowers. So some good graphics, and the graphics are pretty cool, very detailed. There's the Hero churn, and the starter churn, and the Simplex churn. But this churn was only $4.50 from Kendall and Whitney. Then you have some pulleys. And then here's some more cultivators. And then finally, some more cultivators and harrows on the back here. So all 4 of those pages, $3 start. And we do not need to do 45 seconds, 15 seconds. We're off and running. Hey, April Clark. We are just getting close to finishing up probably. And also make sure you take a look in the buy it now. If you see anything in there you like, that also counts towards your free shipping. I also take offers on things. Even after the show's over, I have all my stuff in the marketplace as well. So you can always send me offers on stuff at any time. All right, well, if there's no more requests, stick with me for just a second. Let's find somebody to raid. But tell you what, let me turn the camera back around so I can say bye to everyone on this Memorial Day weekend. So thanks everybody who came in today. As I mentioned, normally I ship out on Mondays. It'll probably be Tuesday unless I get a wild hair and package up stuff tonight and get it to the post office tomorrow. But we have a wedding to go to tomorrow, so that's probably going to be unlikely. Once again, I'm Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures. Live in Knoxville, Tennessee. In addition to Whatnot, I sell in a bunch of different other online marketplaces and also have 3 antique booths here in the Knoxville area. So if you're ever coming through town, make sure you stop at West End Antiques, Bearden Antique Mall, and then Granny's Attic up in Clinton, Tennessee. In fact, go ahead and pencil in on your calendar the first weekend in October. That's the big fall festival in Clinton. It's a huge antique festival. They close all the streets down. All the antique malls are in sales. There's live music, street vendors, food, everything. We just finished our spring festival, and I was told it was great, although my daughter got married that weekend, so I was not able to attend. Anyway, let me go see who we got to raid. Stick with me just a second. Still got 5 people in here who've hung out for the whole almost 3 hours, well, 2.5 hours now. So let's go raid. Let me just look and see if anybody else is running Ephemera right now. If we could have waited till 4, we could have raided the whatever skunk, whatever her name was, or his name, because it was their very first show. Let's see. We have actually nobody else is live in Ephemera right now, I don't think. I'll tell you what, we'll just go to Prinny Corn. She's a good friend of ours, so we'll go raid her. It looks like she's doing kind of pseudo ephemera anyway. It says like craft type stuff. So everybody have a great weekend, and thanks for stopping by. I'll be back on again in 2 weeks from today, so make sure you bookmark that show, and we'll see you then.